growth, discovery, identity.
Hope, a dreamer, a go-getter.
Intentional, imperfect, human.
Growing, hopeful, sincere.
Mexicana, Americana, the heart.
A local, a dreamer, an open book.
Soul, rhythm, empathy.
I am from a chaotic house.
I am from concrete flower beds.
I am from the corner of Hellman and Angeles.
I am from the mahjong tiles clacking on the table.
I am from communities filled with both laughter and tears.
I am from Los Angeles.
I am from generations trying to survive.
I am from a chaotic house filled with love and laughter, from belting musicals in the car, from laughing until my ribs hurt.
I am from concrete flower beds and roses sprouting within, from wildland firefighters and factory workers, from streets where trouble finds a homestead, from the culmination of my parents' magazine dreams.
I am from the corner of Hellman and Angeles, from baby bangers asking,
Hey,
Where you from?
from 3 long rows of the same blue desk, from the bus that takes me to see my brother on visitation days.
I am from the mahjong tiles clacking on the table, from the smell of incense smoke, from the feeling of trying to understand who I am becoming.
I am from communities filled with both laughter and tears, from stories passed down, from memories that refuse to disappear, from people searching for a fresh start.
I am from nature, the city of angels, and a constant need to be everything, from California love and
Ganas.
one day I'll make it big with these angels.
I am from South Central, from Pasadena, from Memphis and New Orleans, from rhythm and jazz and stories in my blood, from generations trying to survive and still choosing joy.
I am the child of 2 teenagers who fell in love. I am the child of a Mexican family with hopes and dreams. I am the child of grief. I am the child of lowriders and bombs.
I am from hand-me-downs 3 sizes too big, of long car rides born from constant bickering, of my mother's hopes that one day I can buy her a mansion, of expectations born from my brother's failures.
I am the child of 4th of July cookouts, of women I could never burden, of having so much love and not knowing how to express it.
I am the child of Laos and Okinawa, of tradition and sacrifice, of discovery leading to identity.
I am the child of immigrant parents, trying to create something better. From fear, from resilience, from survival.
I am the child of great expectations, with hope and determination. I yearn for deeper thoughts people don't always share.
I am the child of mistakes, of lessons learned too young, of trying to become someone softer in a world that hardens people.
I
see.
Single mothers hustling to make ends meet, teenagers taking lives away before they can start their own, families hiding from the modern Gestapo, cultures breathing life into a bleeding city.
I see people being performative on Instagram, teenagers crammed on the 60, friends hanging out in Little Tokyo, seniors spending their final school days together, and kids running to the lunch line.
I see people fake concerned, parked driveways when I get home, scratches in the floorboards.
I see helicopters louder than birds. I see cultures colliding. I see people searching for belonging.
I see hate repeating itself again and again. I see myself on the court shaking in fear. I see celebrities praised for their bodies, scared for the next generation. Now they'll have to fight off disorders that should have never started.
I see communities struggling to breathe, traditions fading, families trying to hold themselves together.
I see people eating ice cream while somebody asks for 1 cent. I see live life like a dream, but I also see don't be oblivious to what's going on.
I carry the weight of making my family proud. The thought of what if, hope that I'm going to make it.
I carry the hope of a better future for my family. Memories of pueblos and struggles my father showed but never spoke about. A love for life inherited from grandparents I never met.
I carry guilt for letting myself down. I carry my keys, my wallet, my fears, the things I don't allow myself to say out loud.
I carry dreams, identity. I carry the pressure of figuring myself out.
I carry feelings nobody can read. Sometimes they're light, and sometimes they get heavier when I share them.
I carry anxiety, fear of missing out, the pressure to survive, the pressure to succeed.
I carry trauma, empathy, the fear of becoming somebody I'm not, and still I carry love.
I dream of starting college in Boston, of getting a good dorm, of graduation day, of being on Broadway, of having a brownstone in New York City.
I dream of acceptance from my people, that one day my stories will be told to my grandchildren, of a world where we are judged by character rather than skin.
I dream of a future where everyone here can say, yeah, I knew him before he blew up. I dream of family reunions between my brothers and their children. I dream of a world that I'm not scared to bring my kids into.
I dream of traveling the world, of understanding who I am, of becoming someone I can proudly recognize.
I dream big thoughts, dreams bigger than 1 page, dreams that aren't just dreams, not when they belong to me.
I dream of not asking for change, of asking for a chance to breathe, a chance to be heard.
I dream of leaving a legacy, of becoming more than my pain, of creating something beautiful that outlives me.
I am.
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 I am
Growth.
Hope.
intentional.
Sincere.
Mexicana, Americana.
Un soñador.
Resilient.
I am.
Yo soy.
We are. Presente.
Do we do a bow? No.
That one?
Please welcome HIP Director of Network Engagement, Stephanie Ruiz Perdue.
Wow, that was amazing. Buenos días y bienvenidos. It's great to see everyone here today. I'd like to give a very special thank you to our host committee. Some are sponsors of our conference, others are leading important conversations throughout the week. And many have spent the last year showing what leadership looks like when communities are tested. A year ago, Los Angeles faced a new escalation in immigration enforcement. As Al Angelino, I saw how heightened fear, increased raids, and a show of force that shocked our neighbors and families. But in that moment, something else became undeniable: the power of people who refuse to look away. Today, we recognize two champions who, among the many organizers, advocates, and community leaders, rose to meet the moment with courage, compassion, and unwavering conviction. Their impact reaches far beyond Los Angeles, serving as a model of resilience, resistance, and community care for people across the country. They have shown us what it means to lead not from a place of power, but from a place of accountability, community, and love. Their work reminds us that resistance is not just about opposing injustice. It is about building the conditions for dignity, belonging, and hope. The Honorable Councilwoman Eunice Hernandez has been a fearless champion for immigrant communities and policies that center the well-being of our working families. She has shown up sin miedo. Alberto Retana and the Community Coalition of South LA team have spent decades building people power, and we're among the many grassroots leaders who answered the call when ICE showed up. Justice is not inevitable. It is built every day by people like Eunice and Alberto, and us in the room too. Justice is protected by those who choose action over silence and community over fear. Now, please join me in celebrating these two extraordinary champions.
Good morning, everyone. How you doing today? Nah. This is Hispanics in Philanthropy. How you doing this morning? That's right. Let them hear you all the way in Miami. Thank you so much for joining us in Los Angeles. My name is Eunice Hernandez, LA City Councilwoman representing the 1st District. It is an honor to be with you here today. Welcome to LA. It is a pleasure. 2026 Hispanics in Philanthropy Annual Conference, a gathering of some of the brightest minds in this country. And this year's theme is rooted in purpose, rising con poder. Sounds less like a tagline and more like a strategy, because that's exactly what it is. Our communities are not just surviving this moment, we are being strategic. We are making moves. And many of the people in this room are the who, what, where, when, and how that happens. It is also a pleasure to share this space with incredible advocates, Alberto Retana, also Conchita Cruz, Angelica Salas, Memo Torres, and Rudy Espinoza, fighters and warriors for our city. I also want to, yes, please, absolutely, they've been on the front lines of throwing down for our people. I also want to extend my deepest gratitude to all the sponsors who made today possible. And let's be real, we're living in one of the most hostile political moments that our communities have faced in generations. Raids in our neighborhoods, fear at the schoolhouse door, policies designed to make us invisible, to make us afraid. And we are not afraid. And when we are afraid, we push through. And the proof is sitting in this room right now. Here's what I know from the ground, from my district, from the people I serve every single day. The most transformative work is happening with organizers who don't have a fancy fiscal sponsor. It is the people, remember this, please remember this. It is the people that make the government do the right thing. It's always the people. Don't never forget that, please. That's the most important part of all of this. And it's happening in church parking lots, on WhatsApp chains, and mutual aid networks, all built overnight. Our job, all of ours, is to support that work as well, not just the polished RFPs. To the funders in this room, you have a kind of power that elected officials don't. You can take risks. You can fund a vision before it has proof of concept. You can make a 5-year bet on an organizer who has never run a nonprofit, but already has changed her block, her school, and her city. That is exactly the kind of outside-the-box investments that this moment is asking for. We need multi-pronged approaches, legal defense, and narrative change, especially when all media is being bought up and privatized. Policy advocacy, base building, mutual aid, all of that and all at once. Because our opponents are using every tool available, and we cannot afford just to pick one. We must bridge the gap between grassroots organizing and transformative policy change, because one without the other leaves our people vulnerable. Remember, people make the government do the right thing. And we have to be honest, short-term crisis response grants are not the strategy, they are a Band-Aid. We need long-term investments in power, the kind that outlasts any one administration, any one election, any one raid, and any one political moment. Over the next few days, as you reflect and reimagine power together, I encourage you to think about seeking out an organization that does work differently than you. Ask yourselves, who is missing at this conference? Forge deep partnerships, commit to local organizing, demand transformative policy change, and let us build lasting power together. Thank you for your transformative leadership all across this country. Thank you for all the work you all do that is unseen. Thank you for funding this work. Welcome to Los Angeles. This is your home, and I hope you have an empowering conference. Thank you so much for having me.
Beautiful. Buenos dias. Let's give it up for our council member and her leadership. Bold leadership, committed leadership, rooted leadership, had a battle, and she won, and she's still going to be on our council. My name is Alberto Retana. I'm with Community Coalition. Good morning. I wanted to take a moment. Our council member laid out the strategy and the strategies required. So I want to take a moment and take a step back and maybe talk about our values for a second. I remember getting up as a kid and leaving the house, or as a teenager, and as an adult, I go visit my mom, and on my way out, every time, on my way to school or on my way back home, me persinaba. She did a little blessing over my forehead, like my abuelita Socorro did, because she knew that once I left that house, she had no control over what would happen. An accident, in some cases for many of our families, potential violence in the community. But never, at least in our lifetime, there was a stint in the 80s where this kicked up a bit, where to be blessed was to hope that you would come back home, that you would not be picked up on the street and kidnapped and sent away without any due process, without any rights. So I think about that blessing every day now and what it means. Folks, that blessing is rooted in a deep, profound love we have for each other. And as I welcome you to Los Angeles, I want to welcome you to a city that is powered by love. So I want to talk about love, that indescribable feeling of deep inclusion, deep empathy, deep care, deep solidarity that is non-negotiable for your children, for your mother, and as we're under attack, we more and more realize for our neighbors. Love is at the foundation of our movement, and love for fairness, for justice, for freedom, for our familia, for all peoples. It is this love that fuels our movement. And as a people, we have demonstrated that in the face of darkness, in the face of authoritarianism, in the face of a strategy to erase us, we choose not to surrender our bodies. We choose not to surrender to oppression. We choose to fight and fight and fight and fight until the very end. It is this love. I represent Community Coalition. We're based in South Central. And it is that love, that's right, give it up to South Central. It is that love that drove solidarity and drives solidarity between black and brown people. And as a Latino community, particularly our non-black Latino community, we have work to do to keep on fighting, to keep on organizing, because they're not stopping. And our family is in the crosshairs. Black people being disenfranchised and left to die on the streets every day. I hope you take notice of the black and brown folks on the street, without a home, without shelter. Folks who were just 20, 30 years ago, picked up, swept up, and put in cars and disappeared. So this solidarity that we feel in South Central, at least from the black neighbors I work with, is a recognition that what is happening to us was happening to them, and what will happen to us is not okay. We must together fight against oppression. We must together fight against authoritarianism, because the answer is in all of us. So my reminder for you today, as we think about our community, there is no path forward without a multiracial tent. There is no path forward as a human family. We do our work within our community, but never to the exclusion of others. Because to do so is to assimilate into this white, dogmatic, evil, spirited 250th anniversary of oppression. We're going to redefine it because this July 4th, we're moving towards interdependence. We're moving towards mutuality. We're moving towards success because the in-between of the past and the future is in our hands, and the future of freedom is going to be for our children because of us in the community. Thank you all so much for coming to LA. Welcome to this conference.
Thank you to the LA Champions. Now please welcome the Interim President and CEO of Hispanics in Philanthropy, Jennifer Chavez Rubio.
Buenos dias, colegas. Let's give them another round of applause. What a powerful opening. Welcome to Hispanics in Philanthropy's annual conference. I'm so happy to see you here. Before anything else, I want to acknowledge the young people and the champions of Los Angeles who opened this space for us. The Latino Theater Company youth reminded us of something extraordinary. Our communities have always carried truth through art and memory. And the champions we brought on stage, they are the foundation and steady force of Los Angeles. They continue to show us what courage looks like in practice, and they're here to remind us of what's at stake and who we're accountable to. We're truly grateful to be here, and HIP is especially thankful to our top sponsors, the California Community Foundation, and the California Endowment. Both have been some of our biggest champions in welcoming us to Los Angeles. And thank you to our sponsors, Altamed, Weingart Foundation, and Casey Family Programs. Thank you. And so many others who helped to make this conference possible. Because of your support, over 800 leaders from across the US, the Caribbean, and Latin America are gathering here this week, connecting, building, and imagining what's next together. Gracias. Today we stand on the ancestral and unceded lands of the Tongva, Tatavium, Serrano, Kizh, and Chumash peoples. And we decided to host our gathering here because this city has been organizing for generations, in its fields, in its schools, and in its unions. And the people who built this city are the people we carry into every room we enter. I hope all of you feel that this week. This city's been shaped by a history of migration, resistance, labor, culture, imagination, and solidarity. From Boyle Heights to South Central, from Koreatown to East LA, from the garment workers and the street vendors to the youth organizers and the wildfire responders. Communities have survived because they have organized. And right now we're being called to organize again. Across this country, we're witnessing a deliberate and coordinated attack on Latina communities. It's an attack on our families, on our dignity, on our right to exist without fear. And at this moment at Adelanto, a hunger strike is ongoing. People unlawfully detained are refusing food to demand dignity. Despite threats and retaliation, they're continuing to speak up from inside. We're watching racialized narratives about who belongs, who's a threat, and who's worth protecting shape federal policy at a speed that should alarm every single person in this room. We're not disposable, and we know this attack doesn't stop with us. This is not new, but it has accelerated, and our response has to accelerate with it. When Black communities are over-policed and under-resourced, that's our fight. When Indigenous communities fight for their land and their sovereignty, that's our fight. And when Asian communities face hate and exclusion, that's our fight. Division is the strategy, and solidarity must be our response. That's why the conversation you'll hear on the main stage today matters so deeply. It's because what's at stake is not only immigration policy, it's the future of democracy itself and whether we allow fear to define who belongs in this country. Our communities aren't waiting to be saved. We're already building, we're organizing, and we're responding. But most of all, we're protecting one another. In Los Angeles, when the fires came, funders mobilized fast. They didn't burden communities with unnecessary hoops and paperwork in the middle of a crisis. They moved the resources, they trusted people, and they took action. Our colegas at the Latino Community Foundation launched an emergency fund, and organizations like Cielo coordinated rapid response on the ground, and you'll hear from them in the charlas today. That's the model. That's happening right here in this city of Los Angeles last year. This city really is the blueprint for cities all around the country. In Minnesota, Amber Hansen at the Mortensen Family Foundation pulled us together to raise $15 million for an immigrant response fund. And HIP's own board member, Tony Tijerino, responded, like so many of us did. The Hispanic Heritage Foundation organized a delegation to shine a light on what philanthropy and national leaders can do when they coordinate with intention and urgency. In New York, the Hispanic Federation and the Human Rights Commission partnered on a $5 million relief fund for families directly impacted by ICE. They didn't reinvent the wheel. They built on relationships already in place across the East Coast, and they're speaking this afternoon in the ballroom. And there's another piece of this coordination that we don't always name as infrastructure. It's trusted information. That's why this afternoon's charla on independent journalism as civic poder matters so much. In moments of community-rooted journalism, in moments of crisis, community-rooted journalism is often what helps people stay informed, safe, and connected in real time. And you'll hear from folks at the LA Local, Carmen Rojas from Marguerite Casey Foundation, along with Jorge Ramos and Memo Torres from LA Taco. People who are reporting from inside the communities they serve and showing us why narrative itself can be a form of care and protection. Look around this room today and you'll see leaders who are already taking action. Or think back yesterday to the site visits or the strategy labs where we witnessed community-led, place-based work that's already moving. And that's what leadership looks like in this moment. It's not perfection, but action. And everyone in this room has a role to play. And so to my colegas in philanthropy, this is not the time for retreat disguised as caution. We're seeing too many institutions figuring out how to protect themselves instead of asking, how do we protect communities? But history is going to remember who stood firm when it became difficult to say words like race, equity, immigrant, undocumented, or trans. The attacks we're witnessing today are not only political, they're strategic. They're designed to create fear, hesitation, and paralysis, and to convince us to water down our values before anyone even asks them to. But we can't afford paralysis. That's why HIP is so proud to support Change Philanthropy's Level Up campaign, because this moment demands that philanthropy level up its courage, not lower its ambitions. The campaign is asking our sector to do something simple but powerful: Stop shrinking in the face of pressure and start acting like the future of our democracy depends on what philanthropy chooses to fund, to defend, and to say publicly, because it does. And this is also why HIP helped launch READY, the Racial Equity Advancement and Defense Initiative, alongside APFI, Native Americans in Philanthropy, and APIP. READY exists because race-explicit work is not a liability. It's necessary. And READY's helping funders move with confidence instead of fear by supporting legal access for our nonprofits and by providing important tools and infrastructure. It's helping institutions understand that race-explicit grant-making is still legal, it's still necessary, and it's still one of the clearest ways to build a more equitable future. Because the biggest risk to the sector right now is not boldness, it's inaction. Some of the people in this room move money, or you shape narrative. Some of you organize communities or build policy. And every single one of those tools matters right now. You don't need to be the loudest one in the room, and you don't need to solve everything alone. What matters is that you act within your capacity and that you're accountable to it. As you listen and you're inspired by the incredible speakers you'll hear over the next few days, you must ask yourself, what's mine to do? What power do I hold? And am I using it with the urgency that this moment requires? Because the truth is, there is extraordinary power in this room, and our gente are relying on us to use it. Every year, we bring so many people across sectors together, from across borders, across identities, and that's not accidental. That's about strengthening our infrastructure. And infrastructure matters in moments like this. Know that our conference theme this year, Rooted in Purpose, Rising con Poder, is a call to action. We're rooted in generations before us who fought for our dignity. And we don't rise alone, but together. In a few minutes, you're going to hear from people who are doing exactly that. They're going to show you what cross-racial solidarity looks like in practice right now. So pay attention, take notes, and ask yourself, what will I do with what I hear? Because that's the question this gathering is going to ask of all of us. Once I bear witness, what will I do? We're so glad you're here with us. Now let's get to work. Gracias.
To kick